Welcome to this class on loving your feet. So let's get started. You need to have a ball for this class. A nice tennis ball will do, or whatever else you like. I'm going to take my shoes off. So if you're barefoot or in socks, you'll get more benefit out of this class than if you're wearing your shoes. And we'll get to that in a minute, but we're going to start with a little centering. So sitting up nice and tall, a nice deep breath, and feel yourself sitting down on the chair, shoulders relaxed, back of the neck long. If you like, close your eyes. Become aware of the sounds as far away as you can hear them. Maybe the sounds outside the room. Bring your awareness into the room and notice the sounds inside the room. Bring your awareness into your body. Notice the sounds inside your body, maybe your heartbeat or sound of your breathing. Bring your awareness into your heart. Notice the feelings that are showing up for you this morning. Deep within, under all of these, is an infinite well of silence, an ocean of silence, which is your true nature. From that ocean, allow a wave of intention to rise up for today's practice, either something you would like to experience, or someone or something that you would like to dedicate the practice to today. And we'll begin with some warm-ups of the whole body before we get to our feet. So let's lower the chin to the chest and feel the stretch as the shoulders relax back and the head comes forward. And then lift the chin and broaden the chest as you stretch up. Lower the chin, shoulders press down and back. And inhale, lift the chin. And come back to center with a nice tall neck. Let's look around, seeing whatever's right in front of you. And then let your eyes stretch around behind you. Find something on the wall behind you. And then blink your eyes when you come back to relax them. And stretch around the other way, looking around behind you as far as you can, stretching your eyes as well as your neck. Find something on the wall behind you. And then blink your eyes. Come back to center one more time, rotating the head. And perhaps you can find something even further behind you this time. And then blink and soften back to center. And look behind you the other way. And blink as you come back to center. Sitting up nice and tall, let's lower an ear to a shoulder. So the ear and shoulder that are towards each other, that's the arm that's going to come up and over. This shoulder is going to drop. We're not pulling, we're just letting the hand rest on the head, encouraging the neck to stretch a little more. Inhale back to center. Bring the ear towards the shoulder. So the ear and shoulder, that's the hand that comes over, touching your other ear. Softening this shoulder. Breathing into the neck stretch. And back to center. Let's inhale the shoulders up to the ears, taking a beat here. Exhale. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale. Inhale, squeeze the shoulders up. Exhale. One more time, squeeze. Exhale. Let's inhale the arms up overhead. Give yourself a pat on the back. You can either push that elbow back or pull it back. Get up nice and tall, but not poking your rib cage out. And we'll reach up and bring the other hand to give yourself a pat on the back. And then either push that elbow back or pull it back. Again, don't poke out your rib cage, belly and ribs reaching towards each other. And let's bring the elbows together. We'll read the newspaper, squeezing the shoulder blades back and turning the pages. I hope all the news in your paper this morning is good news. And let's turn the palms to face front, and then we're going to reach back with our palms as far as we can go, bending our elbows back, and then we're going to come forward and press our palms back as far as they can go. Inhaling, pressing the palms and the arms back as far as they'll go, and down and pressing back. And you probably feel your shoulder blades reaching towards each other. Last one. And down. Let's scoot forward a little bit on our chair. And we just want to warm up our legs a little bit. So we're going to step over a barrel and step back. We're taking long, slow breaths right into the point of motion as we warm up our joints. You're also feeling that in your thigh. Good work. Let's do the other side, stepping over the barrel and back. Good work. And holding onto the chair, we're just going to windshield wiper our knees. Might feel that a little bit in your belly. You want to make that a little bit more challenging. Could do your Betty Grable cheesecake pose. Windshield wiper in your knees this way. Just do 2 more. It's a lot of work. Make sure you're breathing. Oh, good. Take a few breaths here. Notice how you feel. We're waking up the body. We're warming up the joints. We're gently stretching the muscles. So let's work on our spine. So again, scooting forward on the chair. We'll do some cat and dog, rounding back. Inhaling, rocking forward. And coming back to center. Okay. All right. Just want to do a spinal twist, sitting up nice and tall. We're going to grab one leg and then the side or the back of the chair. Back to center. And we'll go the other way. And back to center. A nice deep breath and begin to roll down one vertebra at a time. Bring your hands to your thighs and roll back up, starting with your tailbone. Cross your elbows and back, arcing back over your arms. Inhale back up. We'll do one more roll down. Starting with the head, neck, shoulders, upper back, mid back, lower back, and maybe your forward fold looks like this. Or maybe you're more flexible and you can go all the way down. And then bringing your hands to your knees, rolling back up, starting with the tailbone, lower back, mid back, upper back, coming up nice and tall. And let's grab our ball. All right. Again, I'm trying to get all of me in this picture. Feet. There we go. Okay, so have your ball handy. You're going to start by spreading the toes wide, pressing down into the balls of the feet, and then relaxing the toes down. And now lift the toes up, spread them wide, and relax them down. Inhale, lift the toes, spread wide, and relax them down. Lift and spread. And down. Now we're going to press into the balls of the feet, press the heels forward, coming up as high as we can. And slowly rolling back down. Inhale, lift the heels, press the feet forward. And slowly roll down. One more time, inhale, lift the heels, press them forward. And slowly roll down. This time we're going to pick up one foot and press the top of the toes, the toenail side into the foot. So you feel the stretch right here in the front of your ankle. We'll just hang out here and breathe into it. So it's summertime and people like to walk barefoot. And back in the old days when people did walk barefoot, their feet were connected to the earth. They got energy from the earth. So now we have to do these exercises so that we get that same earth energy. Let's switch legs. Wow, feel the difference in the two ankles? Turning the toes over, pressing the foot forward, stretching the front of the foot, unless you get a cramp, which I'm getting a little bit of here. If anything hurts, please come out. So anyway, we're opening up the bottoms of our feet. We have chakras in our feet. We also have nerve endings in our feet that connect to every part of our body. So we're giving ourselves a full body massage by what we're doing here today. Okay, one more thing, let's circle the ankles. You can circle the ankles on the floor like this if you like. And then we'll circle back the other way. And relax. So if your feet are in shoes all day, they're tight, they don't get air. We're opening up the feet, we're opening up the fascia, which is that membrane that stretches all the way through the whole body. And by opening up the foot, we're actually opening up even the flexibility in our neck. Let's take one ball and we're going to pick up our toes. The heel is on the floor. I'm going to shove that ball back as far underneath as we can so that basically, hopefully you're on the arch. And then you can scoot forward a little bit so that you're pressing down knee over heel, pressing into that foot as hard as you like, or as soft as you like. You can, come back up for less pressure or come forward for more. We'll take a few breaths here, pressing down into the heel of the foot and onto the ball, which is in the arch of the foot. Okay, so we're flexing the foot here. And you can sit up more, whatever feels most interesting and best for you. And now we're going to gently roll the foot over the ball from side to side. Right at the arch. Feel that, the heel on the floor as best you can. And then we're going to roll that ball forward so it's right under the high arch, right? And the ball of the foot. So the ball of the big toe. Again, you want to make sure the foot's back enough that you can press down into that. Then you can lean forward, you can add some weight. Heel is on the floor. You're pressing down into the ball of the foot, and the toes are straight here. We're not dropping the toes. We'll get to a variation like that in a bit. Breathe and press down into the ball of the foot. And lift up. And now we're going to do as if we were making a thumbprint, only we're going to do with the big toe. So scoot that ball so it's under your big toe and try to get the other toes out of the way. And again, just bring that foot back enough that you can. Heels on the floor. You're making a thumbprint with your big toe. And again, if you want to add a little extra weight, you can lean forward. or you can sit up, whatever works best for you. Making a thumbprint, and if the other toes are touching the ball, it's okay. Pressing down with your big toe into that ball. This time, imagine that your foot is up against the wall and just the toes are up against the wall. So you're going to put the whole foot flat on the floor except the toes. And press again the big toe mound down and press the toes, as many toes as you can, into the ball. Step close up. Foot's on the floor, and you're pressing into the big toe and as many other toes as you can get. Again, as if your foot is against the wall and the toes are pressing up. Let's bring the ball back under the foot. We'll give it a little roll. And pressing as hard or as light as feels good to you. And then we're going to put the ball back under the high arch. And we're going to keep the heel on the floor, and we're going to squeeze all the toes around the ball this way. As if you're trying to pick up the ball with your toes. Squeezing around the ball. So you're pressing down and squeezing. And then one last one, you're going to pick your toes up and spread them, pressing down into the ball of the foot and spreading your toes. And let's do one more roll. As hard or as soft as you like. Waking up those feet. And again, I love the fact that this is like giving yourself a full body massage, but your foot's so much smaller and so much more accessible than trying to give yourself a full body massage. All right, let's just put the ball between the feet, sitting up tall. Take a moment to compare the feet and legs. For me, this foot feels much more grounded. The leg feels much more alive, more energy. So before we go to the other foot, let's just do a little wiggle, just so that the rest of our body doesn't feel neglected. So we're just shifting our weight from hip to hip and doing a little wiggle. And let's do a little climbing while we wiggle. And climb back down. All right, let's do the other foot. So once again, we're going to lift up the heel, the knees over the heel. We're going to slide that ball as close under the arch of the foot as we can. If you want more, you can lean forward and press into that foot more. Again, the foot's straight. We're not rounding down around it. Just a nice straight foot, flexed foot. Or you can sit up, whatever feels best to you. Find your ideal stretch. And I already did this class once, so my arches aren't hurting near as much as they did the first time around. So it works. You can look up a foot reflexology chart online, and you can see what parts of your body you're massaging, which parts are sore, and know that you're doing a good thing for yourself. And then we're going to slide that ball forward so it's underneath the big toe mound. I'm going to press in there. Again, the heel's on the floor. The foot is flat. We're not rounding the toes down. Just pressing into the ball of the big toe here. You can be thinking about your posture. You're either sitting up nice and tall, or if you're coming forward, you're still supporting with your abdominals, relaxing your shoulders and your face. Taking nice full breaths. All right, now we're going to do a thumbprint into the ball, and it's a toe print, so we're going to slide that forward. Try to get the other toes out of the way if you can, but if you can't, don't worry about it. And pressing the big toe down into the balls. Heel is still on the floor. Keeping your alignment, right? Hips, knees, feet. Breath and awareness. Trying to make a thumbprint only with a toe print into that ball. And then as if you've walked up to a wall and put your toes up against the wall, but the rest of the foot is flat. We're going to put the whole foot flat on the floor, except the toes, pressing the toes into the ball. There you go, now you can see it, right? So whole foot is flat on the floor, except for the toes. Toes are up. And let's roll the foot back and forth over the ball again, as hard or as soft as you like. Nice massage. And then we're going to put the ball under the ball of the foot and let the toes drop down. And then we're going to squeeze the ball as if we're trying to pick up the ball. Squeezing the ball. And then we're going to flex the toes, picking them up and spreading them wide. So we press down into the high arch. The metatarsal arch. Right? Isn't that what it's called? And one more roll back and forth. And let's put the ball aside for a minute. And we're going to pick up just the big toe of each foot, if we can. Whoops. So try to pick up just the big toe. You know, there are people who paint with their toes, right? I can't get them up. Can you pick up just the little toe? Can you keep the big toe and the little toe on the floor and pick up the middle toes? I'm sort of doing that. How about you? And then we're going to walk our heels out. We're going to bring the big toes forward and the little toes back, and then the little toes forward and the big toes back. So we're going to switch big toes forward, little toes back. Big toes back. Switching the toes. And the last one, we're going to spread and squeeze, spread and squeeze. All right, and go for a little run. If running is too much, you can go for a walk, or you can just lift one leg and then the other, taking your time. Just do that. And just notice the energy in your legs and feet. And we're also going to see if that affected our flexibility in our neck. So let's just let the chin come forward. And inhale up. And back to center. All right, we're going to come to standing to adjust. Again. There we go. Got it. All right, so let's use those feet that we've worked on. So we're going to pick one heel up and press the other foot down really strong. Come up onto our toes, press one heel up, pressing the heel forward, pressing the other heel down. Come up on the toes, press one heel back, press the other heel forward as far as you can. Come on up and switch. Pressing one heel down, pressing the other heel forward. One more time, let's switch. Pressing the heel as far forward as you can and switch. And I think this is the last one. I think we did both sides evenly. I hope so, and down. We'll turn one toe over and press into the top of the toe. And while we're here, if you like, you can come into a little back arc. Feel that lovely stretch in the front of the foot, in the front of the thigh, in the front of the chest. And we'll bring that foot forward, give it a little shake. And down, and again, feel the difference in the 2 feet. Wow, how much more energized that side is. Okay, so step the other foot back, pointing the toes. So we're on the top of the foot, the toenail side of the foot, feeling that stretch in the front of the ankle. Because you know, we walk a lot with our foot flexed, so here we're giving it a chance to stretch. And if it feels good and safe to you, you can lift the chest and arch back. Shoulders relax down, abdominals lift. Breath is slow and deep. Inhale back to center, shake that leg out. And come back to center. We're going to come into goddess pose. If you need to hold on, please stand behind the chair. I'm going to stand next to the chair so you can see me. So it's like a second position ballet. I'm going to roll those knees back, drop the tailbone, roll one shoulder back. If you don't need the chair, roll both. But again, if you need to hold on to the chair with two hands or with one hand, please do what works for you. Draw the belly in, and if you feel safe, press your heels forward, coming onto your toes. Bring your thumb and forefinger together into a mudra. Find your drishti. Keep pressing the thighs back while you're pressing into the ball of the big toe at the same time. And let's release. And come back to center. We'll end our standing series with a downward facing dog. So come to the side of your chair if you can. Hands on the side of the chair or the seat of the chair. Walk back. Bend our knees. And then we need to straighten the legs if that works for you. But it's more important to have your tailbone lifted and your spine long. If you straighten your legs and it causes you to round up, keep the knees bent and stretch out. Let's lift the toes and spread them wide. Imagine I'm pulling you back by your hip creases. Feel your shoulder blades flat on your back. Your breath nice and deep. Let's inhale slowly up. We'll come into a plank pose, elbows hugging or pressing into the heels. Feel that stretch in the back of your legs. And then the heels maybe come off. So bend your elbows slightly, coming towards the chair if that works for you. If not, you're just standing here with your feet on the floor and giving the back of your legs a stretch. But if you feel like bending the elbows and coming forward a little bit, strengthening your upper body, and then pressing back. And one more time, elbows bend a little bit, heels come off the floor, thighs engaged, pressing back, and press back. Let's take one foot and step it forward and come into a warrior one. We're still getting that nice stretch in the back of the heel. Let's roll the shoulders down and lift the chest. Feel the legs squeezing towards the midline. And we'll step back and bring the other foot forward, pressing into the back heel and dropping the hip. And that lovely stretch in your calf. And the knees squeezing towards the midline, shoulders pressing down and the heart lifting. And let's step back. Let's do one more downward facing dog. Notice if it feels any different. Maybe you can straighten your legs a little more without humping your back. And draw the belly in and lift the tailbone. Come on back up. Straight leg version. We'll step one foot forward. Bring your opposite hand to your hip and spin your body, coming into a side angle. You can keep your hand on your leg or reach it from your heel to your fingertips. Roll your rib cage towards the ceiling. Press down into the outside of your back foot. Bring that hand down. Let's spin towards the chair. Press back. Step the other foot forward. Bring your opposite hand to your hip. Spin your body. And stay here with your hand on your hip or reach into the sky. Spin your chest towards the ceiling. Bring the hand back down, press back. One more downward facing dog. Oh, aren't this wonderful? And if you're super flexible and feeling really strong today, maybe you'll do one with your hands on the floor. That's up to you. If you did that, grab your chair and come on back up. And walk yourself back to Tadasana. Again, you could be behind the chair holding on with two hands or one hand. And let's come back and sit on our chair. Take a few breaths here, taking in what we've done so far. We're going to walk ourselves over to the corner of our chair, sitting in a nice wide-legged position. And you can stay like this or drop your knee. And if you're very tight, the knee's going to look like that. If you're more flexible, the knee's going to look like that. Or if you're super flexible, the knee's going to look like that. And then we're going to do a spinal twist, turning towards the back of the chair, whichever variation of legs we've chosen. Slowly inhale back. And again, whatever the legs are, we'll do our side angle again. So coming down onto this elbow, rolling that hip back. You can stay here or reach your arm up. Inhale back up. Bring that knee in. Turn the foot around. We'll walk ourselves over to the other side. And you could be sitting right here doing your spinal twist like that, or dropping your knee. And again, if you're tight, the knee looks like that. Or if you're more flexible, you're opening the hip flexor. Or if you're super flexible, you're coming into your lunge here. Inhale tall. Exhale, turn towards the back of your chair. And maybe you're just holding onto the arm, or maybe you can reach the back, whatever is your pleasure. Find your perfect pose. And slowly unwind. And we'll come into our side angle, coming down onto the leg. You can keep this hand on your hip, rolling your rib cage towards the ceiling or reaching over. And we're pressing into the ball of the toes back there, spreading those toes wide. Really a nice opening in the arch. Spinning our rib cage towards the ceiling. And we'll bring the hand back down. Come on up. Bring the knee in. Flip it around. Come on back to center. Let's toe heel back to center. Scoot back on our chair and come into Shavasana. Bring your awareness into the room. Hear the sounds in the room. Bring your awareness into your body. Hear the sound of your heartbeat or your breath. Bring your awareness into your heart. Notice the feeling there now. Drop into that ocean of silence that is your true nature. You can stay here as long as you like. When you're ready, slowly bring some movement back into your fingers and your toes. Move and stretch in whatever way feels good to you.